Emma, are you good to kick it off?
I am, yeah. So I wanted to say,
Are you talking to somebody?
yeah. So, okay, thank you. I just want to say thank you everyone for coming. We really appreciate your interest in our team, and we hope we can answer all your questions tonight. So this is a little overview we have, Aaliyah. A little overview of what we'll be talking about tonight. If you have a question, you can raise your hand or pop it in the chat. We'll also be doing a Q&A at the end. Um, yep, so without further ado, we have Emma Twist, who's our captain, and she can't make it tonight. And then we have Annika, if you want to say hi.
Yeah, sure. So I am one of your co-captains this year. I'm super excited for that. I am a third year political science major who's also pursuing a certificate in law. I've been part of QET since my first year. This will be my third year on the team. Um, a little bit about my riding background. I've been riding competitively for 13 years and I show on the silvers and the golds. Or at least I have been this summer. And my goals for the QET upcoming year is just to continue to build strong connections between riders and support everyone in their individual goals. And I'm looking forward to meeting everybody.
And next is me, I guess. I'm also a junior captain. I'm going into third year of environmental science. I've been riding for, oh my God, a long time. And I showed on the silvers in high school. And then before that, did just some like schooling stuff. And what else did I do? Oh my God. I did a bit of Trillium. Yeah, that's what it's called. Back when it existed. But, and I love QET. It's super fun to get to compete in like a different setting in university. And I'm looking forward to seeing all the new people come in September.
Awesome. I'm Aaliyah. I'm also a junior co-captain this year. This is my second year a part of QAT. Also my second year of school in life sciences. Before this, I mainly showed the silvers for many years, but I've been riding for like too long, don't even remember. I'm really excited to be a co-captain this year, and joining QT was like definitely the best thing I did for myself in first year. So I recommend everyone do it. It builds a great community, and you're gonna make so many good memories. So try out.
Hey, hi, I'm Caroline. I'm the fundraising and events coordinator. I'm going into my third year in art history, and I am going into my second year on the team. I've been riding since I was, I think, 6 years old, and then I'm currently showing on the Trillium circuit. Um, I basically like a little bit about my position. I just plan team socials and then also fundraising opportunities. And then along with Victoria, I reach out to different companies and stuff like that for sponsorship opportunities. Um, and yeah, I'm just really excited to be able to bring the team together and organize a bunch of fun socials. And I'm hoping to kind of use my art history major and bring in a lot of creativity to my role. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Caroline. Okay. And then next, so Queens, like equestrian, is built into a club and a team. However, they're very different and they're only slightly connected in like an operations point of view. But that being said, if you're someone with no riding experience or you just want to ride very leisurely, the club is a great space for that. They ride out of Dreamcatcher's farm. And yeah, being a part of the club, it is not the same as being the part of the team. The team does a bunch of other stuff as well, but the club members are always welcome to come and watch QET horse shows. It's always open to everyone. And it's a great thing to try too if you're looking to getting into riding or just trying something new at school. However, we don't run the club, so if you have any questions, feel free to email on the slide, and they will be more than welcome to answer any questions you have about that. And the rest of this presentation will be about Queen's Equestrian Team. Annika's just trying to fix our Zoom, so she was going to say the slide, but I will do it for her. So our OCA,
Yeah, I'm just
you're good? Okay.
I'll be done in a second if you want to skip that and come back to it. I'm almost worried.
Okay, yeah, we'll come back to the divisions, but just know there's 4 divisions. And then, so the structure of our team, did I skip one? No, we're good. Okay. Yeah, so for our structure, there's 5 riders per division. We have 2 core riders in each, and there's 3 to 4 alternates in each division. So if you're a core rider, you are guaranteed to have the opportunity to compete at every single horse show. In fact, you are like pretty much required to compete at every horse show. But the alternates are not guaranteed to have the opportunity to compete. We try really hard to make sure everyone can compete at every horse show, but we can't make any promises. You might only get to do one, or it really depends on the horses that are available at that show and like the amount of riders from the other teams as well. So, for example, we had some alternates last year that were able to do every show, and there were some alternates that could only do one or so. But yeah, so 2 core riders per division, 3 to 4 alts. And our tryouts open August 1st. So stay tuned for information about that on our social media, and we look forward to seeing all of your tryouts.
Okay, sorry about that, everybody. I'm just trying to fix the Zoom meeting. But a little bit about the OCA divisions. So there's 4 divisions, as you can see here. Just I want to make a note, these divisions are subject to change, just because the OCA is actually doing a rulebook review right now. So these are what we have, and we'll update everybody if they change in any way. So basically, the open division, we compete at a height of up to 2.9 maximum. Sometimes it can be lower than that. All of these, they can be lower depending on the horses we get donated because we run on a donated system. But yeah, you can see these requirements here. And then a little bit about the zones. So there's 4 zones in the OCA, the North Zone, West Zone, and Central and East. So we compete on the East Zone, and normally we compete against University of Ottawa, McGill, and Carleton. So those are our peers for the year until finals, where everybody from all the zones who's qualified competes in one place. If you've never shown before, we encourage you to try out for our entry division. You don't need to show a record for that. We would just need a letter from your coach saying that you are qualified to compete in that division. And then a little bit like Aaliyah said, we ask you during the tryout forms whether you want to be an alternate or a core rider. You get to decide that. I mean, you could say you want to be a core rider. You might end up being an alternate. That's what happened to me my first year. But we try and take everybody's wants into consideration. So if you just want to be an alternate, you kind of just want to be on the team as part of like a more social basis and with the potential to show, then that's always an option as well. If you do choose core division, we may move you down just to make sure that you do get a core spot if there's a core spot for you where we think you would be best. So if you could try out for open division, but there's only a core spot open and intermediate, we might ask you if you would be okay moving down in your acceptance email, basically letting you know that. Obviously, we'd let you know all these things before you decide to sign on to the team.
Okay.
Okay, so next we have our competition format. So all the competitions run over one day, except for finals in March, which is 2 days on the weekend. And then they're usually on a Sunday. The show day begins with the open division and then open over fences, then under saddle, and works all the way down to entry. And then horse draws, so that's who you're on that day. The horse draws are done prior to the competition, so it's not like you pick it in a hat that day. Although changes may occur if a horse needs to be pulled, but then we have that all worked out, don't worry. And you'll have a different horse for the over fences and under saddle. And there's no warm-up. Instead, you'll see what you can learn watching the warm-up rider. The OCA is run as a hunt seat equitation, so very similar to the hunter jumper equitation classes, if you guys have done that. And the pasture team has been great about helping to volunteer as horse handling for divisions. So we need lots of volunteers at our shows to help, and you're encouraged to come even if you're not showing, to have some horsey fun. Each team hosts one show, so we have 4 shows in the year plus finals. A lot of work goes into making the shows run smoothly. Our exec team and captains have been working all summer to prepare for a great year and a great show. So we ask all of our riders to come out for our show to help out. And it's crucial to help have a fun, smoothly run day. And then lastly, all the ribbons and all the points you get will equate over the year, and they'll go towards year-end individual and team awards for our zones.
Awesome. Oh, I forgot I had an animation.
So yeah, a bit more about the financial commitments you can see here. Here's our tryout fee, and just to explain that, our tryout fee goes back into the team. It's super important to pay your tryout fee so that we'll actually look at your application, make sure that that goes in with your application for tryouts, and when you do your Google form, which is the way we do our tryouts, make sure you tell us which email the tryout fee will be coming from, because we know sometimes some people, like the email is different than the tryout form. We just want to make sure that everybody's money and forms gets put together so that we make sure we know everyone's paid their forms. And then so the ARC membership and transport fees are approximate each year. Those go to the school, so we don't get those funds. And then the transport fees are to help fund the buses or rental cars to get to the shows. And that also changes on a yearly basis based on what we have to pay to the ARC to get those fees. And then the OCEA membership fee, everyone has to pay that to be eligible to compete in the OCEA. And then the Ontario Equestrian membership fee, everyone has to have their Ontario Equestrian membership to compete. That's a non-negotiable. And then the show fees generally are about $90 per entry fee. So that covers 1 jumping round and 1 flat at the shows. Hotel fees kind of vary. We don't always do hotels. It's just if the shows are far. So normally for McGill's show, because they host around Montreal area, we have to stay overnight the night before, and that is based on, it depends on what hotel we choose. We approximate it to be around $100. And then we have our lovely coach Nicole from Stone Mills, who will be coaching us at our horse shows this year, and we're very lucky to have this. So that's $50 per person for over 10 people competing. And then if there's under 10 people we're bringing to the show, it'll be $65. Other events are an additional cost. So finals can be an additional cost, and the banquet is also at additional cost. I would also budget for the Ubers if you're planning on lessoning and you don't have a car. It depends on the amount of people you have, so you'll figure that out once you're in your lesson groups, but I would just be aware that that is also a cost if you don't have a car.
Okay.
So for lessons, we have moved this year to 2 different barns because our coach moved to BC. So for lessons this year, we'll be riding out of Stone Mills with Nicole, who coaches us at the shows, and ADK with Danielle. Both are half an hour away from campus, and we'll be carpooling to lessons if there's someone in the group that has a car, and if not, it's your responsibility to Uber and to pay for that. It'll be lesson groups around 4 or 5, so it won't be too bad of an Uber cost. There's lots of opportunities to ride, and we create our lesson schedule with lots of availability and times to work on everyone's school schedule, because we know everyone's schedule is kind of crazy, especially first year. They give you lecture times that aren't super desirable. And then this particular lesson program is only for those on the team, not on the club. I just wanted to make that clear for everybody. But you're also, if you want to go on the club, you're welcome to come watch a lesson.
Okay, and then for time commitments, so we have mandatory volunteer commitments. They'll likely be 1 or 2 a semester. We didn't do these last year, but we're really hoping to do some volunteering this year. So if that does happen, we'll make it required that you attend at least one of those. And then, like Emma said earlier, for our horse show, the Queen's one, it is mandatory attendance for the entire team because we need all the hands we can get, and it's actually a really great time. So it's not bad. And then yeah, so for competitions, they're typically on Sundays. You're off campus the whole day, 5 a.m. until the evening. Sometimes we stay in a hotel the night before. The one thing with these competitions though is while we're at the show itself, we don't want people studying. You're supposed to be there being a part, cheering on your teammates, helping out. Obviously, on the car rides or at the hotel, like if you have work to do, you can do your work or whatever you need, but it really like brings down the demeanor if someone's not helping or people aren't focused on the show itself. And then there will also be a couple mandatory meetings throughout the semester. So, like at the start of the year, we have one when we first make our rosters to make sure everyone knows of the information about the team. And then we might also have a meeting before our first hosted show or first show, and just to make sure that everyone knows what's going on and has all the information they need. Okay.
And we also have other events for the team throughout the semester. So you can see a few examples here. We have workout classes with the ARC. We do some like spin classes and things like that are a super fun way to kind of hang out with the team and get a little bit closer with everybody. The banquet at the end of the year. So basically, you don't have to place to go to the banquet. In the year-end ribbons, we encourage everybody who wants to come out and support their team to come. We have team dinners, so we'll definitely have a welcome to the team dinner and a year-end dinner. That's just with the team to just kind of make sure that everyone's familiar with each other at the start of the year because it's always fun to know people before the first show. We have media day, so that's strongly encouraged that you attend so that we can get your photos for the website and for our roster pictures. We have clinics, so this year we're gonna have our intermediate, novice and entry riders do a clinic hopefully once a month at Stone Mills where we're open, and some of our intermediate riders will ride and vice versa. That way you get more coaching and coaching from other people, just Danielle and Nicole. And we might have other clinics this year, hopefully. Those haven't been firmed up yet, but we're hoping to get maybe 1 or 2 more clinics. And then we have our team socials. So that can be just last year we did some hat decorating, which was super fun. And just things like that to make sure that everybody feels welcome and is included in the team, and we're all pretty close on the team. So just make sure you come to those and you'll make lots of friends and have lots of fun.
Okay, so that concludes our basic information, but we want to open up to you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to send them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask them. This presentation and like slideshow, like this whole meeting will also be on our YouTube if you want to come back and review it. But yeah, any questions, feel free to ask away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chloe,
Chloe.
go ahead. Yeah.
Hi. I was just wondering, what if for the divisions between entry and what was the next one? Novice?
Novice. Yeah.
If it's because I've showed, but I have never done equitation, so I wouldn't have placed. So what's like do you go up or would you go down to entry?
So yeah, that would be circumstantial based on your particular show record. So as you can see, the requirements here. So if you don't have the novice requirements, we would recommend that you start with entry. Another note about the divisions is you're able to apply up a division. So in your case, you would be applying up from entry to novice. We would need a signed letter from your coach saying that you're capable of competing in the novice and what the novice asks of you. And then we have to submit that to the OCEA, and that can be approved or not based on your show record and your coach's recommendation.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. And if you guys have individual questions that you don't want to ask here or in the chat, you can always email us or DM us on Instagram, whatever you feel more comfortable doing. And we'll get back to you right away, pretty much.
Or stay at the end of the meeting if you want to ask.
Yeah, stay at the end.
Okay, well, that's all we pretty much have. We appreciate you all coming tonight to this meeting, and we hope you all try out. It is such a good time. Like, it's really, really fun, and totally recommend it, and it will like change your experience of university for the better.